trusted news source, ABC6 News at Noon.
Good afternoon and thanks for watching. I'm Taralyn Azak with your news at noon. It is rainy and gloomy out there today. I mean, Nick, what a difference from yesterday. But let's get a check at the forecast with Nick Morganelli, our storm tracker.
Yeah, thanks very much, Taralyn. And you can see on the Skycam there how wet it is. There's raindrops on the lens. 55 right now, so we're still mild, but we're not near the 71 we had yesterday. It actually hit 72 in New Bedford. I checked on that high temperature for New Bedford yesterday. We need to hit 58 to tie the record in New Bedford, and 59 to break in. We got a south wind right now. Storm tracker radar along 195 from Wareham, New Bedford into Westport. Moderate shower there right now into Fall River, and then you head down to Newport along 138. Moderate shower there as well. We widen it out a bit. We've got rain all the way up into southeastern Massachusetts. A little bit of a break, Providence down to Warwick right now, but then more showers, and there's heavy rain offshore heading towards Block Island right now. That'll hit Martha's Vineyard and Nantucket as well. You see the back edge of this system, though, moving on through, and then we have another band of rain that is lagging behind. That is the cold front. So we look at the future cast here, 4 o'clock. We see temperatures falling to near 52, and the last of the showers exiting. So 6 o'clock, we start to dry it out. 5, 6 o'clock tonight, temperatures are dropping. The northwesterly wind kicks in, and look at this. 9 o'clock, we're in the 30s. We go to midnight here. If you're out late tonight, you're going to be in the 20s. And not only that, we're going to have a wind chill. At 7 o'clock, the wind chill makes it feel like it's in the 20s and 30s. By 9 o'clock, teens and 20s. And then it's tomorrow morning, if you're up early on your Saturday, the thermometer says 22 or so, but the wind chill is in the teens for the most part. Look at Smithfield, almost 10 degrees for a wind chill there tomorrow morning. Weekend is a cool Saturday. It's actually a pretty normal day for February, but with that breeze, it makes it feel a lot colder. Sunday, I think, is the more pleasant day with light wind, sun and clouds. We'll look into the President's Day holiday and the 7-day. I am tracking a storm potential for next week. We'll show you that too coming up. Taralyn?
Thank you so much, Nick. Tough day for me. I did not bring my umbrella. But new at noon, we have an update on Judge Richard Leach. His family says he's recovering after being hit by a car outside the State House. The Rhode Island Superior Court judge was hit while trying to cross the street Wednesday night. Providence police say he was in critical condition when he went to the hospital, but was stable. This morning, the judge's family released a statement saying in part his injuries were serious, but he is a fighter. He has come through emergency surgery well and is resting in the capable hands of a team of physicians at RI Hospital. In Taunton, voters will decide whether the city should build a new public safety complex. The city council pushed the idea forward to a special election. Mayor Shauna O'Connell says it's past time. Taunton has housed police headquarters in a temporary station for 40 years, and 4 of its 5 firehouses are over 100 years old. The fire department wants the new headquarters to include a firefighter training facility as well. And the special election is April 29th. A first-of-its-kind dispensary in the Bay State celebrating its grand opening today. Ascend New Bedford is the first outlet-style dispensary in Massachusetts and welcomed its customers this morning for the first time. ABC6 News reporter Yanni Trigelis was there, and he has more.
The Ascend Cannabis Dispensary in New Bedford opening its doors this morning, welcoming in a huge crowd of customers to the first outlet dispensary in Massachusetts that offers multiple businesses all in one and brings over 20 jobs to the city. A new business opening its doors in New Bedford. Ascend New Bedford, an outlet-style dispensary that allows customers to buy products at a cheaper price.
I am really excited about the fact that metaphorically it's also true, because it's bringing New Bedford to a higher place.
The outlet celebrated its grand opening at 10 a.m., but long before the doors opened, customers started to line up outside, thrilled for the new dispensary to open, giving New Bedford residents a cheaper and closer option to find legal cannabis.
It's good. It's a good area. I mean, and the prices are reasonable, you know? It's better than everybody else.
It's a long time overdue. You know, they should have done this a long time ago. It's a cash cow. Why not have it, you know?
The outlet includes products from multiple cannabis businesses inside, and it's already brought nearly 24 jobs into the community and will continue to hire more employees as time goes on.
I don't want to see people Fall River and Fairhaven. I want to see them right here in New Bedford.
We're talking good paying jobs, family sustaining wage jobs, and growth opportunities with these companies to be promoted from within.
Opening Ascend has been a long time coming, with the city voting in favor of bringing recreational marijuana business to New Bedford in 2016 after it was first legalized in Massachusetts. In New Bedford, Yanni Trigelis, ABC6 News.
Let's check more of today's headlines. A New Bedford family is forced from their home after a garage fire. Now check out this video a viewer sent into ABC6. It shows the intensity of the fire as it engulfed part of the home on Mate Drive just last night. According to New Bedford firefighters, everyone made it out of the house and no one was injured. The cause of the fire still remains under investigation. And a 16-year-old from Taunton arrested for having a ghost gun. According to Bridgewater police, they stopped a vehicle on Bedford Street for being unregistered. During a search of the vehicle, they found the 16-year-old had the ghost gun in his waistband, along with parts for another gun in the car. The teen is now facing gun and ammo charges. The 20-year-old driver, who's from Fall River, is just facing traffic violations. And the superintendent of schools in Smithfield says a teacher found a high school student with a knife Thursday morning. In a letter to parents, the superintendent said the knife was small and the school was immediately put into lockdown, but no threat was made to anyone at the school. That student was arrested. Longtime elementary school custodian in Hope Valley arrested on child porn charges. According to the Rhode Island State Police, 58-year-old Ronald Plant of Coventry was charged with 1 count of possessing child porn. He's worked as a custodian at Hope Valley Elementary School for 10 years. Plant was released on $20,000 bail in order to have no unsupervised contact with minors. State police say at this time there is no evidence to suggest students were at risk, but they do ask anyone with information on Plant to please contact them. Richard Garner, the notorious convicted child rapist, is once again in trouble, this time facing felony charges for casino fraud. The Rhode Island State Police announced that members of the Gaming Enforcement Unit and Computer Crimes Unit arrested him after an investigation into fraudulent access of a Bally's Casino rewards account. Garner served 30 years for kidnapping and violently raping and torturing children in Rhode Island and Massachusetts during the 1980s. Garner was arraigned Thursday and is being held on a $300,000 bail. The deadline to register to vote in the upcoming Attleboro special election is quickly approaching. You will need to sign up by tomorrow in order to be eligible to vote in the mayor's race. Candidates are City Council President Jay DeCilio, who has served as an acting mayor, and DeCilio is running for a full term. But he has some competition. John Davis, Timothy Barone, and Kathleen DeSimone, they are also on the ballot. The former mayor, Paul Heroux, he left last month after being elected Bristol County Sheriff. Almost 35 years after disappearing, the Bristol County DA's office continues to search for a Fall River woman. DA Thomas Quinn announcing the woman went missing in Fall River back in 1988. She was 33 at the time when she disappeared, and DA Quinn said her husband told police she had left him for another man. Quinn said her family never believed that. Here we are all these years later and still no sign of her. The DA's office is now asking anyone with information about her disappearance to contact state police. A Rhode Island business is hosting a fundraising event for Sarah LeBeauzeniere, one of the victims in the double fatal accident in Cumberland on Monday. Linked Rhode Island will supply its permanent SJ bracelet. The proceeds will go to Sarah's family. The SJ Forever Linked fundraiser will be held at Ravenous Brewing Company in Cumberland this Sunday. Still to come on ABC6 News at noon, what residents in East Palestine, Ohio are being told about the Biden administration's efforts to clean up a toxic train derailment there, and why some aren't buying it. And later, Paul Blart Mall cop just a hop and skip and a jump away from the Dartmouth Mall, why Kevin James was spotted over in Westport. Welcome back. It's 12:12. I'm Tara Lenazak. In national headlines at noon, the Environmental Protection Agency is in East Palestine, Ohio, looking to reassure residents the air and water are safe. But with rain moving in, there are concerns the contamination could spread further from that toxic spill when a Norfolk Southern train carrying vinyl chloride derailed 2 weeks ago. Here's ABC's Daria Albinger with the details.
Residents in East Palestine, Ohio are now worried about a new threat stemming from the toxic crash site where a Norfolk Southern train carrying vinyl chloride derailed 2 weeks ago. Concerns heavy rain could spread contamination.
We should not have been let back into town until all of this was done.
The slow-moving chemical plume from a controlled burn at the site is expected to drift into West Virginia, but the EPA says the contaminants are well below the 560 parts per billion the CDC considers hazardous.
The water, we are not showing any evidence of any contaminants.
The EPA is trying to reassure residents the air and water are now safe.
The state of Ohio and EPA are working hand in hand, and if we say that the water is safe and the air is safe, we believe it because we've tested it and the data shows it.
Ohio's governor calling for additional resources from the federal government. HHS and CDC crews now deploying.
This is a map from the U.S. EPA that shows all the places where they've taken outdoor air samples over the past 2 weeks. Again, the experts tell me that these monitors are coming back clean.
The number of toxic train derailments nationwide has been declining in recent years. Rail carriers have been involved in more than 13,000 hazardous material incidents since 2002. Norfolk Southern involved in 1,530 of them, 116 classified as serious, including a 2005 derailment in South Carolina that released toxic chlorine gas. 9 people were killed. In Michigan Thursday, another Norfolk Southern train derailed. The company says no one was hurt and no chemicals were spilled. Daria Albinger, ABC News, New York.
Still to come on ABC6 News at noon, Nick Morganelli has a look at your full 7-day forecast. We'll be right back.
And now, your ABC6 Storm Tracker weather with meteorologist Nick Morganelli.
Good afternoon. I hope you had your umbrella ready for the rain today. It's almost done. It's starting to move out, but we still have a few more hours of this. 54 right now in Providence and Wakefield, Newport at 50, New Bedford at 55, 3 degrees away from tying the record high for the date. And let's zoom it out here. We've got colder air off to the north. Buffalo's 24 right now, Detroit 21. Our air will be coming from this direction because the wind will be out of the northwest starting tonight. And you will need the winter coat if you have some Friday evening plans. Let's look at our headlines. Steady rain is ending now for the most part in this hour. We have one more round, I think, 3 to 4 o'clock before it all comes to an end for good. And that's with the cold front that is going to be changing our weather from the spring warmth we've had back to reality, back to February type cold. So winter cold returns tonight, and with that too, a wind chill. I can't believe I was 71 yesterday, and now I'm talking about wind chill in the 20s and teens tonight and tomorrow morning. All right, let's see what's going on. Storm tracker radar showing a lot of moderate rain now along 195, New Bedford, Fall River, back towards Newport right now. Then there's a little bit of a break here, Providence and Warwick, then another little band back to the west. This is all moving through in the next hour. But if you look farther to the west, there's one more little ribbon here of moisture. That's the cold front right in here. And that band of moderate rain would come through maybe in about 10 or 15 minutes. It would rain hard, and then that's it. Then the wind shifts, and then that front ushers in the colder air, which happens tonight. So here's 5 o'clock, that front offshore, bringing all the rain out to sea with it, and the northwest wind kicks in and it dries our air out and it cools things off tonight. And with that is that wind chill as well in the 20s and teens. High pressure building in for your Saturday, but it'll give us a sunny day, but it's kind of an ineffective sunshine. We do start in the 20s. We end up struggling to get to 40 degrees in the afternoon. So it is a cold day overall. Sunday's a little better with a lighter wind. Let's look at our day planner for today. 58 at 2 o'clock with some showers, and then 5 o'clock we should be done. 50 degrees, it's windy. And then as we get to 8 o'clock and 11 o'clock, temperatures dropping through the 30s. And again, the feel-like temperature, 20s at 8 o'clock, teens at 11 o'clock if you have those plans. Here's the overnight lows tonight on the thermometer going to the lower 20s by tomorrow morning. And your weekend forecast looking pretty good. Sunday 45, and of course the weekend is extended into the President's Day holiday on Monday, and that day looks pretty good too. I want to go back to the weather headlines though. The one headline I forgot is the changing pattern that's coming next week. It's going to get interesting. We go from this weekend, where it's cold and dry, to this, and this is the storm track, which is very close to southern New England. And if we put that in play, and we have a storm coming at us around Thursday, that storm tracks right through southern New England, and we could be looking at snow and icy mix, maybe just north of us. We're going to watch this one real carefully. Here's the 7-day forecast. We'll deal with that on Monday. I'm going to take the weekend off on that one. But sunny tomorrow, clouds and sun on Sunday with a shower late in the day. Now, President's Day is looking pretty nice at 52. So overall, a pretty nice weekend. Tarlin?
Nick, but when you said wind chill and ineffective sunshine, you broke my heart. You broke my heart. I'll forgive you. We will check right back in with Nick Morganelli. Still to come on ABC6, though, at noon, an inside look at the war in Ukraine as it rages on to its second year. What ABC News correspondents found in their travels to a village that was under Russian occupation. Welcome back. Now to the war in Ukraine. As Vice President Harris is in Munich meeting with other world leaders about Ukraine, ABC's Patrick Ravel traveled to a small village north of Kiev that was under Russian occupation. He joins us with the details.
In the town of Dimir, residents are celebrating still being part of Ukraine. Only 30 minutes north of Kyiv, Russian forces were driven out of their town back in April, but Russia's occupation left terrible wounds here. We are taken to a factory, used by Russian troops as a base. In this dark, windowless room, local people were held captive.
How many people were kept here?
It's written here, he says, 33 people. The prisoners scratched messages into the walls.
It says, drop everything and run if they let you out.
People were kept bound with hand ties, their eyes blindfolded, he says. The prisoners were freed when Russia retreated back in April from Kyiv, but the Russians took others with them. Marina Feshenko says her husband has been missing for 11 months. He is one of 42 civilians she says were kidnapped from the community and taken over the border to Belarus and then Russia. She believes they are now held in prisons. She realized her husband was alive when she saw pictures of him in Russian media. It's very difficult, she says, but we believe Ukraine will win, and all our guys, civilians and prisoners of war, will be at home in Ukraine.
Hundreds, perhaps thousands of Ukrainian civilians are still believed to be being held in Russian captivity, but because they're civilians and not prisoners of war, it's not even clear what mechanism can be used to bring them home. Patrick Revel, ABC News, Kyiv.
Welcome back to ABC6. Actor, comedian Kevin James. He was in Westport on Thursday. The grown-up star was seen getting a bite to eat at Bootleg Barbecue. According to the restaurant's owner, James was in town working with a production company from Little Compton. Now we have ABC6 meteorologist Nick Morganelli with the last check of your forecast. Handing it right over to you, Nick.
Hey, thanks, Carolyn. Wow, no hair on him. It's interesting. We'll see what he's working on. All right, so 50 degrees by 5 o'clock. We go to 35 by 8 o'clock. 30 by 11. It's a cold start to the weekend. We do have some sun on Sunday, but a mostly cloudy day. And then next week is status quo. A pretty mild week, but we're watching a potential storm for Thursday. More on that on Monday. Carolyn?
Thanks so much. Thanks for joining us for your news at noon. The news continues first at 4. And for news and weather anytime, abc6.com is always on. Thanks for watching.